Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, different group, and we listen to all of their records and we rank them from worst to best, and we try to have a good time doing it. My name is Tyler, and way out there hundreds of miles away is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button, dude. And before we start, we normally go with our 6 Degrees of Tom. We do our 6 Degrees of Tom DeLonge, where we connect the band of the week to our boy Tom DeLonge, but I did not do my homework. Did you?
I didn't do it either. But then, they worked with Rick Rubin. That's just, that's...
Yeah.
That's always an entry point into going into Tom DeLonge territory, so I didn't do it either.
Exactly.
I forgot.
And we're doing the Beastie Boys, obviously. That's why you're listening. So we're gonna do their 8 full-length records plus 2 of their EPs. That's what we're gonna rank. And then at the end of the show, end of the episode, we're gonna get into our top 10 favorite Beastie Boys songs. So it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a zoo. So let's get into this. Our least favorite, the worst. What?
What the fuck?
The worst Beastie Boys record. What do you got? And the biggest banger and stinger from each of them. Go.
We're 10, right? We're doing 10. Yeah.
10. Yes, correct.
Worst Beastie Boys record, because we're doing the 2 EPs, is Some Old Bullshit EP. Early 80s stuff. They combined it and put it into the 90s. It's a comp from their punker days. It's not bad. None of their records are actually bad. It's not bad. They actually have like a solid sound that was cool, that could have been polished up a bit and probably made it as a decent enough punk band in the 80s into the 90s. I don't think there's enough here to carry them on past that. It's wild they played with like Bad Brains and Reagan Youth, right? But both of those bands are fucking so much better than this. Yeah. So this is, it's unpolished, it's raw. I don't think they wanted to do this. I just think that they did this because everybody else was doing it, and that's what you do when you're young and fucking bored and have nothing else to do. Is you start a band with your friends, or you just go do something stupid. So I'm glad this exists, but I'm also glad they stopped doing this. But I don't have a worse song because they all pretty much sound the same except for one. The best song is Cookie Puss, because that is fucking crazy. That you have a mascot that's a cookie and it's named Cookie Puss. Because that just opens the door for so many fucking things. And then B, it shows that when they have fun, they make really, really good shit. And this is the only song on the whole record that it sounds like them having fun, and it's so much better than everything else.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, my number 10 is also Some Old Bullshit, this comp. I think the hardcore music at this time was fine. It was totally fine. I used to have this on, but you and I both used to have this comp on vinyl. We got that Record Store Day release back in 2020 or 2021.
Yeah.
Really early on when we started collecting. And I totally agree with you. I think Cookie Puss is the best song on here. Even though it's not the most traditional kind of song by any means, it's still, there's some cool shit that goes on this song. And their hardcore stuff, agreed, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's just better hardcore at this time in the early 80s. So, number 10 for me, Some Old Bullshit. So what do you got for number 9?
Number 9, The Mix-Up, the 7th record, 2007. It's an instrumental album. So, off the bat, we're just not going to get their best. It's just not going to fucking happen. I don't care how good this is. And it is good. It's actually pretty good. These beats are great. They're playing a ton of live instruments all over it and intertwining it with the beats, and that's cool. It sounds great. But there's no Beastie Boys on here. You know what I mean? Come on, guys. I saw someone compare the Beastie Boys instrumental songs to drinking shots on a night out. On a Reddit thread I was reading, and a few shots here and there, right? That's a good part of a night out. But if your entire night out is only shots, that's not good.
That's a good way of putting it.
You know what I mean? So that's Beastie Boy instrumentals. I also think that this may have been a statement of hip hop in general. getting back to like the pillars of hip hop, right? Like the beats, like what drives everything forward is just like the beats. Just maybe they weren't happy with hip hop in the mid 2000s until Kanye really took over. But I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Biscuits and Butter.
Okay.
Just it was the dub influence, the offbeat, the driving piano, and the backbeat, the creepy guitar riff. It was cool. It was the example of them playing their instruments over like a beat. And it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, good. So I mean, really, also with these songs, I really have no stinkers. I don't think there's anything bad on any of the records. There's obviously stuff that I like more than others, but yeah, nothing that's an overall stinker. It's a spoiler. I'm not going to give you any. My number 9 though. Hot Sauce Committee Part 2. This is meant to be a double album, but because MCA died, you know, they ended up not putting out the other part of the double album. Money Mark and Mixmaster Mike are on this record, so they're featured all over this one, which is cool. I like to see both when they're both on a record because they both bring something cool and unique to the band and to the songs. So I really like that. And but overall, I think the album is just fine. I wouldn't say it's boring, but I just kind of heard everything already, and I don't feel like there was anything super just anything that really stood out to me. It's just good. It's just good, and that's it. I don't have much to say about it outside of that. Make Some Noise though. I do love that song. I really, really love that song, and it's a cool video too. But otherwise, I'm just not. This record's not for me. And this is not vinyl worthy. I don't have this on vinyl. I would not get it on vinyl. So, what do you got for number 8?
So I don't blame you for putting it so low, but I do blame you for putting it below Mix Up, putting it below Burroughs, putting it below fucking Oglio, Guglio. So you're wrong on that. So there's one wrong thing you've already said so far. We're 2 rankings in. There's going to be a lot more, I'm sure. Number 8. Number 8, I said. To the 5 Boroughs. Their 6th record, 2004.
I mean, it's wrong, but...
So okay. I listened to the mix-up once. I listened to this twice. Everything else I listened to at least 3 times. Dude, this is cheesy. It's a love letter to New York City post 9/11. Like, as if the Beastie Boys even needed to do... Well, we are New York City. You know what I mean? It's like Jay-Z doing something like this. Like, I am New York City. As far as music is concerned, these guys have done a lot for the city. They do a lot in the city. They give back. We don't need this. The politics on the record are, dude, formulaic. They're fucking safe. They're low-hanging fruit. It just feels so uninspired by an event that was already 3 years ago. And, like, this is just right at the cusp of just, like, the invasion and wartime. And they pull this out and it just feels so phoned in. Even for, like a 9/11 tribute. Like, this is... Every record they've ever done, including the mix-up, every record they've done, they push their artistry in some way, shape, or form. And I'll get more into the Hot Sauce Committee because I think you're wrong on that one. But every record they do, it pushes their artistry in some way, except for this one. This is the most safe, the most boring, the most phoned in, the most generic thing that they've ever done. And if it wasn't for the mix-up just being not a Beastie Boys record and bullshit being kind of bullshit, this is their worst record, like, by far. It has one good song, one song that is worth talking about. Let's check it out. That's a fucking banger.
Great song.
Triple Trouble is kind of a cool song.
Great song.
But only the remix of it. That's it. Everything else on that.
What remix?
I don't know.
Was there?
Was
there like a popular remix? I don't remember.
Well, a lot of these have their double albums, right? So like they all have like an anniversary or remix album, and then on Spotify, I didn't realize it, so it just kept playing.
Oh, okay.
And so because I listened to this one twice, right? So like the first time I was on the vinyls and it didn't have it, and the second time on Spotify, it just kept going through all the songs, and so I was like, okay, this song's actually pretty kind of cool. And then I was like, oh, it's a fucking remix of it. That's why, because they took a boring song and made it good. But an open letter to New York City, and I'm not here to question their love for New York City. I just know they're fucking. I come on, everybody knows the Beastie Boys are New York City, but they sample the Dead Boys on this. They do Sonic Reducer, and it's not good, man. It is not. It's out of place. It sounds shoddy. It sounds fucking amateur. Amateur in a way that's not endearing. Amateur in a way that's like, dude, you are better than this. Yeah, 5 Boroughs, man. This is not it. This is not it.
All right. So a kind of not off topic, but you and I watched the Beastie Boys story on Apple TV. Or I don't know where you watched it, but I watched it on Apple TV. But they didn't talk about this record. They didn't talk about Five Boroughs, and they didn't talk about Hot Sauce Committee at all. Like they completely just went right over it. And they went into the mix-up very briefly, but they did not talk about those other two records at all, which I thought was so bizarre. But I mean, I could see why they didn't do Hot Sauce Committee, because that's probably really like tough for them to talk about because that was the last record.
Yeah,
but
it's weird they didn't touch upon this one more, because Check It Out was a huge hit.
It was very popular. Triple Trouble was really popular too, but not nearly as much as Check It Out was. But anyway, okay, good. That's your number 8. Well, it's not good, but it's something.
I know it's not good. That's why it's number 8.
All right. You ready for this one, boys? You ready for this one?
This is
my number 8.
Here's number 2 dumb fucking thing you're about to say tonight.
My number 8 is License to Ill, their first record.
That's not that dumb.
I've never really liked this record. I think some of the singles are good. I've never really liked Fight for Your Right. I've never cared for that song. No Sleep Till Brooklyn obviously is great. Paul Revere is my favorite song on this record. That almost broke my top 10 favorite Beastie Boys songs.
Revere's good.
I do love Paul Revere. Rick Rubin produced this one, signed with Def Jam when Def Jam formed. And Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin just pushed this band so fucking hard. The band blew up on this record as well. And I forget how many fucking singles, like popular singles, were on this fucking record. So many. It's wild. But I don't really like the samples too much. I think it's too rock based, and it just sounds like it sounds like they were trying to do or Rick Rubin was trying to do another Walk This Way with Aerosmith and Run DMC, but like on every fucking song, almost every song. That's kind of what it felt like, and I don't know what it is. I just can't really explain it. I don't really like this record that much, outside of a few of the singles. Otherwise, I think it's kind of weak. I don't know. I just don't care. And I know this is a big moment for them and all that, and they were fucking playing arenas and shit during this record, but I just don't really care. I think it's weak. I think it's one of their weakest records. Easily one of their weakest records. So, License to Ill, that's my number 8.
Okay, so you're wrong putting this. You're putting Burroughs above. You put the mix-up above this too, huh?
Well, we'll see.
Your number 10 was bullshit. What was your number 9?
Hot Sauce.
And then number 8 was come on. Oh my God, number 7, Aglio e Olio, their EP, 95. I think now we're pretty much getting into like vinyl territory here. I did like this. This is written while they're like prepping for the Hello Nasty stuff. Just a bunch of hardcore songs they were writing, but didn't want to put it on Hello Nasty. It wasn't going to fit. They had this other idea in mind. They wanted to go a different route. But they're like, these are cool fucking songs. We like these. And they are. They're really, really solid. The difference between this and like the earlier bullshit is they're songwriters now. They're writing songs. They're writing hooks. They're writing melodies. They're structuring things differently. They're not that much older. Yeah, like 10
better
years
musicians
older.
Too.
But it's not like this isn't like 30 years into the career, right? They've been doing this on every album before this. They always had some type of rock, hardcore song, even until like Hot Sauce Committee too. They always have something like that. The only album I think they didn't do it on is Hella Nasty. But it's cool. Like
Burroughs,
they've always
they
been.
didn't have a hardcore either.
Which one?
To the Five Boroughs, they didn't have a hardcore song.
Oh, yeah, well, that record sucked. I mean, who cares? They've always been punkers, but now they can crank out like rad tunes, and they are better musicians. You're right. Like this is cool. I can't think straight. That was my favorite track. It was just like so obviously inspired by Minor Threat. It was ridiculous, but cool. Yeah. Like I loved it. It was so rad. Don't have a stinker. For all my favorite records by them, I do have a stinker. Just because like I don't know some of these songs well enough to be like, oh, this is a shit song. But like I did try and challenge myself for like my favorite records to put a stinker on there.
Okay,
unlike
good.
Some other people on the pod. I won't mention any names.
You're just a much bigger Beastie Boys fan than I am. That's just what it comes down to. You just love this band way more than me.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I can tell because you're already saying some stupid. This better be the mix-up. It better be the fucking mix-up.
We'll see. My number 7 is The Mix-Up from 2007. 7th record from 2007. I don't think there's any particular banger on here. I think this is an album that should be listened to front to back and just kind of chill to it. Kind of maybe have it on, maybe not even in the background, but it's just a solid instrumental. I don't think they're not the greatest musicians, but it's a great, fun instrumental record. They even won a Grammy for this one for the best pop instrumental album.
Yeah.
Money Mark, Mixmaster Mike, they contributed to this record as well. Or no, Money Mark contributed, but Mixmaster Mike did not contribute. So that's cool. But yeah, I mean, I do have this on vinyl. I don't care. I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to purge it. I'm not going to purge it. I've had this on vinyl for years.
That's so stupid.
Actually, since we did Beastie Boys, since we did Paul's Boutique, which is a lost episode now, but we did that like in 2000 or in 2020, I think.
Oh, my collection's nothing but heat. It's all fucking bangers. Fucking guy, dude. I can't believe that shit.
I like the mix. I do like the mix-up, and yes, I do have it on vinyl. I don't care.
Because you like solid instrumental. You really enjoy, not even like mediocrity, stuff that is just like, damn, bro, like, why are you even wasting your time with it? You like having your time being wasted is what you like.
I mean, I will say this right now, and I believe this across all of their records. Sometimes their vocals just really kind of annoy me, because my God, they do the same thing over and over again. Like it's just. And
then he goes on and says Chino's like one of his favorite singers of all fucking time.
I've never said Chino Moreno is one of my favorite singers.
Dude.
I've never said
He'll listen to fucking 35
I've
Deftones records and pretend they're all great. And then he over here saying three guys who have distinct fucking sounds. They do. Fucking same. But you'll listen to Crosses and fucking Justice League and fucking Deftones and whatever the fuck you listen to. Crazy. You're crazy. You're out of control.
That's
tonight.
Fine. Just out of control. I feel sometimes the three guys, they all sound different from one another, but I think just sometimes it's like grating to my ears, like especially Mike D's voice.
Mike D's the most. He's the one in the middle.
He's the highest voice.
No, that's Ad Rock. Ad Rock's like.
Is it Ad Rock?
With your bad breath on your rings. Yeah, that's Ad Rock.
Okay, I thought it was.
Well, MCA's got like.
Yeah, MC's the raspy guy. Is the raspy one. Yeah.
Mike D's like in the middle.
Which I think he's the best. Like I like him the best. MCA is my favorite by far, and I'll get into that on the main episode as to why I like him so much.
When did this happen?
I have like 5 Beastie Boys records.
No,
in my
when did
vinyl
it happen though? When did you stop being like? When did you stop liking fun and laughter and comedy?
Like I said, I have a bunch of these records on vinyl. I like this band a lot, but I could also criticize this band. I can criticize Deftones and Korn and Blink, and I can criticize all these bands that I love.
I bet after we're done with the pod, like every week, your fucking mouth probably hurts so much from like just smiling, because those muscles are never used otherwise.
Okay. So what do you got for number 6? What's your sixth favorite? Beastie Boys.
What is even the point of even going on? Because I know it's going to be so stupid. It's not going to be stupid. Oh my God, it's going to be so stupid.
My rankings are like they're right, obviously, but they're also reasonable. Like you don't have to fanboy about everything about this band. Not everything about this band is great.
Your rankings are reasonable, but you're not consistent when you say that like they sound the same, and then you like praise like Deftones. That's
Chino's not a great singer. Chino's not a great singer.
The band, it sounds the same. Every fucking record sounds exactly the same. At least like Korn does like a dubstep album.
Fair.
It doesn't sound like everything else,
fair.
Right?
And that's fair.
You're just not. You're not being like consistent.
You can criticize
Deftones. You're not being honest.
I will say the same thing about Deftones. Most of the records, yes, most of them sound the same.
Identical.
Take out a couple of the outliers, like the first record, of course. Yeah, they pretty much all sound the same. But I just enjoy that
more
music better.
Than the Beastie Boys are samey.
I would say so. Yes.
Okay, there's
absolutely
something. There's something. Now
we see. Once again, I'm reasonable and
building a foundation here. Where at least like now we can build you up because
I'm reasonable, and I can make fun and criticize bands that I love. You just can't do that with the Beastie Boys. You just can't do that with Beastie Boys.
You're not reasonable because To the Fire Burrows is going to be in like your top 4, and that's like their most boring, generic, samey record.
Fine.
Okay.
You don't know that. I mean, we haven't even gotten that far yet.
I do know that. We're already on 6.
You don't know.
We're already on 6.
We're not in our top 4 yet, so we're not there yet.
Yeah, but you're going to say Oglio. You're going to say Oglio, and then you're going to say fucking. Then you're going to say Hello Nasty, and then you're going to say fucking something else stupid.
Maybe Oglio's my favorite. I don't know because it's a hardcore record.
It's not going to be your favorite.
Well, you never know.
No, I do
make the rules. So what do you have for number 6?
License to Ill. Their first record.
Good.
86.
Good.
I get why everybody's pissed. I get why they're pissed. I get all right. This is a joke of an album. It's a joke by design. These guys, they're a joke band. They went into this because they wanted to be like a joke band, but like the joke was so good that people didn't take the joke, or they didn't understand the joke, so they took the joke too seriously, and kind of like it was like this weird meta thing, right? Like everyone took the joke seriously and then said this sucks because it's too jokey, and they're like, but it is a joke. It's like nobody kind of understood it. The marketing was weird, and then Rick Rubin, fucking hell, dude, this guy inserts himself like he always does into every bit of the process, and the boys fucking hated it in the nicest way possible in interviews and everything else. Sometimes not so nice. But in like the movie that we watched, in the nicest way possible, they fucking hated Rick Rubin for what he did to their band. They hated like the entire Def Jam recording process. They hated all of it.
They hated Russell Simmons the most.
Well, I mean, he's him and Rick Rubin are Def Jam, right? So they hated all of it. They hated everything, and I don't know. It's terrible. And Rick Rubin just fucking took over everything. He pushed them in one specific direction, right? He pushed for the album art. They had a different OG title that definitely would have really hindered their process. Had they, it was, I can't remember what it was called, but it had the word fag in the name, and it was like, dude, that is not, like, no, that's too much. Let's reel it in a little bit. But License to Ill is kind of stupid too. The cover art, still, like, everything about this is just dumb. But it doesn't show like who these people are in their personalities. Like these are three guys who all rap, kind of you could say kind of the same way. A lot of rappers rap the same way. What they say, how they say it, the nuance and delivery, that's where the personalities come out. You're not really getting that here. You're not really getting a whole lot of it. But fuck, man, every one of these songs is pretty much iconic. Like every one. This was a bestseller when it came out, and it's still a bestseller. This still sells. This still sells millions. It sells fucking all the time. I think this is
one of the fastest selling debut records of all time.
This is the most important record in their entire career. It's not the best. It's not the most impactful, but this is the most important record in their entire career. It showed them what they're capable of achieving, and it showed them what they don't want to be anymore. And they fell off this fast, and I'm glad they did. Rhyming and Stealing, that's my banger. It kind of goes back and forth. I like Girls a lot too. I think it's a fun fucking song.
It's a fun song. It is a fun song.
I don't even care how problematic or whatever it is. It's funny and it's stupid. I don't give a shit. My true stinker here, a song that I've never liked, which I'm like the opposite from you. I like the party song, but I don't like No Sleep Till Brooklyn. I don't like it. And I think I think, I don't know, because it feels out of place, right? Like Fight for Your Right makes sense. Like I get it. It's a rap rock song, much like No Sleep is, but Fight for Your Right isn't a great rap song or rap rock song. No Sleep Till Brooklyn tries to be a great rap rock song. We have the soul that comes, and if you didn't know anything about the song, the production, nothing about it, you're like, damn, that was a really good solo. What the fuck? Like, why? They know they can play metal guitar? Like, what the hell? So it just does. It sounds out of place. It sounds whack. It's fucking weird. But then you read more about it. It's like, God damn, Rick Rubin's playing the rhythm guitar. Kerry King comes in on the solo. Like, bro, these guys play instruments.
Yeah, but they weren't
well,
like.
But they
not
play
well.
instruments.
Yeah, they didn't play well, and it's like, well, yeah, of course, bring Kerry King in. I mean, Slayer. He's like the new hire to for Rick Rubin. Like, he's good friends with
Rick Rubin does. Rick Rubin takes a band and says, how can we make this basically pop? Like, this is what pop producers do.
You're totally
and it's
right.
Fucking annoying, and he's done it now or then, and he does it now. He does it all the fucking time.
He does.
And everybody hates him except for you. So,
well,
that's
because
all I'm saying.
he still puts out good records. I mean, I agree with you that he tends to make albums more pop oriented, more, let's focus on the melody and the vocals more and all that, and that's fine. Like, you can criticize him, but he still puts out good records.
Because they would have been good records even without him. Because these bands still put out better records without him.
And that's fine.
And so it makes me wonder,
bad records. These still aren't bad records.
Hold on, dude. What would these records sound like had he had no involvement in them? That's
a stupid argument. That's a stupid argument to make.
It's the same argument you make with the other thing too. Well, if he didn't do it first, someone else would have done it. Someone else would have. You always say that if he didn't do it, someone else would have done it. He said,
no, I'm not
Skip. Chat with Skip.
I'm not friend of Pod Skip. I did not say that. Skip says that. Skip says that. I call him out on it. I'm the one in the right. I'm never wrong.
I'm gonna log into that fucking Asinine Radio Instagram. I'm gonna post that. You did say it the other day, and Skip was
I did
like,
not
that's a dumb
say that.
argument. Just because he did it or whatever. Like, so you
I've
said
never
someone else
said
would have
that.
done it. You say it all the fucking time.
No, Skip says that. I don't say that. Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here.
You say like just because someone like, you always say like just because someone
does it first doesn't mean it's the best.
Not about the best. Because you said that
or does not make it greater.
Someone else would have just done it anyway. And it's like, well, no,
I would never.
Anyway.
No, I did not say that. I did not say that. No,
you said it in the group chat, and Skip called you.
I did
out,
not say that.
And now you're going to delete it or something. And
no, did not.
I'm gonna take away your admin privileges so you can't delete it.
Okay, so License to Ill, that's your number 6. Good, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I expected actually it to be higher for you. I thought you were going to be an idiot about it and put it higher. So I'm happy about that.
There's a lot of good things about this record. It's an incredible record. It's rife with incredible melodies and in the burgeoning scene of hip hop that is still finding its footing and it doesn't know what the fuck it really wants to do. And when NWA is going from like electro hip hop and snapping their fingers, but on side A it's like a fuck the police, but side B's got like, hey, yeah, everybody, right? Like this comes out and it's like, what the fuck is this? This is nothing. Like, no, what the fuck is this? This is, I've never heard this before. This is crazy. And for it to be so popular and for them to be welcomed into the community is wild. This is a landmark record.
It is. Yeah, no, it is. And I completely understand why it was popular. I totally get it.
But it's not that great.
And that's not a knock. It's not a knock to the band.
I think it would have been better if Rick Rubin was not involved. Obviously, it never would have existed if Rick Rubin wasn't involved. But exactly. I think it would have been better if Rick Rubin wasn't involved.
But it's more likely than not it wouldn't have as many big hits had Rick Rubin not been involved. Because Rick Rubin is good at making hits. He just is.
I mean,
you can't deny that.
Nah. Rick Rubin's making
big hits and making bands extremely popular.
Rick Rubin is good about taking a band that already knows what the fuck they're doing and already has big ideas and already has big hits and just putting his name on it and making it digestible for the populace.
Yep. Look at Slayer. Look at System of a Down. Absolutely,
Slayer already
totally
existed.
Right.
System of a Down. I'm
agreeing with you. I'm totally agreeing with you. Yes, you're right.
So what do you?
That's what he's good at. That's what he's good at. That's what he's good at.
Wait, these bands exist and they're already good before Rick Rubin, and then Rick Rubin takes them.
But nobody knows about them. But nobody knows about them until he works with them.
Slayer existed.
They existed, but nobody really knew about them until
System of a Down would have been just as they would have been fine without Rick Rubin.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do.
You don't. You
I
don't.
Do.
You cannot. You cannot predict the future.
That's one thing that I know for sure. I can't tell you why, but I do know it.
All right. So my number 6 is Paul's Boutique. Their second record in 1989.
I'm done. That's it. I can't do it. Can't.
So
are you joking ass right now?
No.
6? No, you put 5 boroughs above fucking this.
I did.
Yes,
I did.
You put Oglio and Uglio and fucking Mo and Curly above this.
Yes, I did. Paul's Boutique. Yes, I this is a good record. This really is a good record. And I used to have this on vinyl for a long time. I did. I had this on vinyl for a long time.
Fucking mix up and he gets rid of Paul's Boutique.
But I purged this like maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. I did purge it, and that's fine. That's fine. So this is produced by the Dust Brothers. They had just moved to Capitol Records because they had issues with Def Jam because Russell Simmons wanted them to immediately go back into the studio, make another License to Ill type record, and they didn't want to do that. They ended up actually like kind of breaking up at this point, but they had made so much money, so they all moved out to LA. They eventually all moved out to LA. They got this big mansion and they started recording in like these nice studios, and they pretty much blew everything that they made. They were like broke by the end of this, and they just thought, oh, the first album was so popular, everybody's gonna love this record, and it just fucking flopped, absolutely flopped. And they didn't flop because of this, but one of the big things with this record were the amount of samples on this. And we did talk about this on that episode years ago, but there were so many samples on here, and this is before you had to clear the rights for the samples that you were using. This is the Wild West of hip hop and sampling. So nobody cared to do that to get the clearance on any of this stuff. So they used hundreds and hundreds of samples throughout this entire record, and it just led to all these lawsuits, and it ended up changing the law, to where, you know, you had to get the clearance to sample any music. And it was strictly because of this record. And that in itself is kind of revolutionary. They also recorded this record, or they did a lot of this record on a computer. Before this, they only ever used analog equipment, but they actually used the Dust Brothers, and they're one of their engineer buddies. They ended up having a computer, and they did everything that way, and that's what made it, I don't want to say easy, but easier to use so many samples and just layer the shit out of these songs. And dude, this album is fucking layered. I mean, there's so much happening on here. Like, you can listen to this album 5 times in a row and hear something different. You could just pick up on something different in every song because there's just so much fucking happening. But when it comes to like the vocals and the rapping, it's just like, it's the same thing over and over and over again. There's no nuance. Vocally, there's no nuance. And it's so, and I feel like the instrumentation is so convoluted because there's so much happening. I don't think it makes for the most cohesive record. That's why it's as low as it is. Like, I can throw this record on in the background and it's fine, but if I were to sit down, but when I sit down and listen to this record, like really listen to it, I'm just like, I can't do it. I think it's both boring and kind of exhausting at the same time.
I'm just confused. I don't know what's going on.
It's not confusing. There's just too much going on.
Put on Deftones, please.
Get the fuck out of here. So,
hell.
Eggman, I do love Eggman a lot. That's a great song, and it's a cool record. It really is. But I don't think I'd ever pick it up on vinyl again.
So you had the mix-up on vinyl, but not Paul's Boutique on vinyl.
That's correct, because the mix-up is not really a Beastie Boys
even though it's
record.
a worse record. Gotcha.
But it's not really a Beastie Boys record. Like, you listen to the mix-up for different reasons, or when you're in a different type of mood. Like, if I listen to fucking Hello Nasty and then I listen to Check Your Yed, I'm not going to go listen to the mix-up after that. Like, the mix-up is something completely different. You have to be in a different mood, like a different time of day.
What kind of mood
It's
you
not
in?
something to be mixed into it. I don't know. Just a different mood. Just had to be in a different mood, man. That's the way it goes. Different vibe, right?
We could just go through my rankings and just omit yours entirely because they're obviously so fucking wrong.
Well,
Again, shit take versus like hot take, maybe a bad take. Shit take. That's a shit take.
okay, we'll see.
Putting 5 boroughs above Paul's Boutique is a shit take. It is. It's a shit
So
take.
what do you got for number 5?
So you had bullshit, hot sauce, mix up, licensed, Paul's Boutique, right? Was that the order so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
License to Ill, Mix Up, and then Paul's Boutique. So Mix Up is above
Okay.
License to Ill. Yeah.
All right, I'll fix that one. It's your turn to talk.
No, it's your turn. It's number 5.
I know. I will fix that when it's your turn to talk. That way I'm not
Oh.
erasing, and I could have just done it now that I'd explain.
Okay, well we'll continue.
What are we on here? 6, 5.
5.
We're on 5. Yeah, check your
Said it like 4
Yed.
times, but okay.
Check your Yed. Third record,
Okay.
92. This is essentially their punk rock record. If they had like a punk rock record in their main discography, they liked playing music and they didn't get to do it like at all on License to Ill because Grumpy Daddy Ruben said no, and they didn't play in Paul because that's just not what that record called for. So they wanted to do it. They wanted to have fun again. They wanted to get back to their roots. And Paul's Boutique tanked, and they were like, "Fuck it, man. They got to pay us anyway for another record. So let's just make a fucking record that sounds different, right? Push ourselves again." Like I said, every record they push themselves to just be something different. If it's good or bad, the mix-up, they push themselves to be something different. Every record, except for the Burroughs that you like so much. But it's nice to hear them having fun again. It's nice to hear them fun again, getting back to their roots. I don't know. It's a record of really, really cool, kind of like raw cuts from a band who just never limits themselves. It's solid with some bangers, some iconic moments like the Biz versus Nuge. You talked about like the sampling issues in Paul's Boutique, but the big one was Biz Markie when he sampled, I can't remember what the fuck it was, some old band that no one really has heard of. Maybe they have. I don't remember what it was, but it was a big deal. And the Supreme Court ruled on it, so that like pretty much dictated the future of all hip hop and rap. And then they drop a song called Biz versus Nuge, and he clearly uses that was it the Homebound? I think it's the Homebound song, the Homebound riff.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what fucking riff it was either. The beast, whatever that one was.
Oh yeah. What? I don't remember what song it was. But I know what song you're talking about.
Dropping a song like this off the coattails of that big copyright lawsuit that I think it just happened either like in '91 or before this record came out, I think is wild, right? It's like, yeah, like Biz got thrown through the ringer here, and on Biz's next record, it was called All Samples Cleared. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it's ballsy. It's kind of cool. It's like, yeah, well, fuck us. You can hit us, but you're not going to keep us down, right? We're here to stay, even if we got to pay a bunch of money to the original artist for these songs, which ultimately is what happens here. And it's kind of funny that people in the hip hop community hate Ted Nugent so much, but he's probably still making money from this song.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, Check Your Head. It's good. This is vinyl worthy. But there's nothing extraordinary about this. It's a good, solid, like B+ tier. I don't know if I call it A tier Beastie Boys record, but it's a B+ tier Beastie Boys record because there's some iconic songs. Jimmy James, that's my banger. I think it's fucking cool. They're dedicated to their craft. Dude, this thing has. So, I mean, Paul's Boutique is wild in its own right. But this has 6 different Hendrix samples on it, and this is an ode to Hendrix and how much they love Jimi Hendrix and his guitar playing and his music. 6 different Hendrix samples on this fucking song.
That's
to
sick.
An ode to Hendrix. It's incredible. The way these guys can just take random fucking things and noises and drum breaks and all these things and put it into a song is absolutely rad. It's cool. Check Your Head's good. Number 5.
Great album. My number 5 is Ill Communication, their 4th record from 1994. From here on out, I have these all on vinyl, so I do really like these records a lot. This one, it's I wouldn't say it's riding on the coattails of Check Your Head, because Check Your Head was, which I'll get into later, but that was like them doing whatever the fuck they wanted. They had their own studio and all that, and this is just a continuation of that. And that's not in a bad or negative way. But at this point, they were mostly just creating samples themselves and playing their own instruments on these songs and just doing their own thing. It has the interludes. It has songs that are not hip hop. It has everything that I think is great about the Beastie Boys. Just a bit of everything. I just don't think they did it as well on this record as they did on future record or on some other records. I have no issues with Ill Communication. So it's just not as good. I don't know. Some people would disagree with me. I know you disagree with me on this, but
you think Oglio is better than Ill Communication?
I enjoy it more.
How do you say this shit with a straight fucking face?
I enjoy it more.
That's what's unbelievable to me.
I enjoy it more. Yes, I do.
Oh, good Lord. I just. I can't even.
I can't
even because I have no words for how fucking stupid this is. I just have no words.
In the end, this is the beginning of them just dabbling in different genres of music, and they do it really well. But I had to put this somewhere. I like it. I'm going to keep it on vinyl. I dig it. Banger, obviously, Sabotage is the best song on here, and how it came about was really cool too. The whole story behind that. So go check it out. But yeah. Ill Communication, my number 5. So what do you got for number 4?
Number 4, I haven't said this one yet. Hot Sauce Committee.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you haven't talked about that.
8th record, 2011. This is their last record, sadly. Released a year before MCA died, almost to the day. Also, I think he died on May 3rd, and this released May 4th, or he died on May 4th. This released May 3rd. It was almost like a year to the day. It is nice that this is the last output from this legendary group. Like if this is the last thing that we had, I think this is fucking incredible. It was delayed because of his diagnosis and reformatted with a different title, track listing, whatever. But man, this one has some incredible beats, and the rapping on this one is not their best, but I think that's almost like the intention of it. As they are saying, like, here is a culmination of everything we have ever done in our entire career. And then we're also just going to rap on top of it because that's what we do and that's what we like to do. And they sound fun. They sound like they're having fun. They haven't sounded like this maybe since Check Your Head. Like, this sounds like they're all having a good time. And it's hard not to look at this with like those like sad lenses on and be like, well, maybe it's because they just had a good time hanging out with their friend before he died. But like that's kind of what it sounds like here. It just sounds like three dudes finally making music like they did, like in the bullshit days. Like it just, God, man, it just sounds wholesome. It sounds fun, and I don't know. They worked around the fact that they're older by making these songs a lot more nuanced and a lot more vibrant and younger sounding. Like for instance, my favorite is Don't Play the Game That I Don't Play No Games That I Can't Win. This one features Santa Gold, has a deep bass line throughout that, and it's like a super dubby one, and like she has her own run of like absolute banger fucking records, but incredible beat. And she had such a nice contrast to their normal vocal style and their normal delivery that it's a weird party track. And then yeah, obviously Make Some Noise is a fucking beyond banger. Not just a song, but like the videos. You go back and rewatch
I watched the full length, all 25 minutes of it.
Did you laugh at all, or did you fucking do your normal thing where you don't laugh because you're not
no,
a
it was
robot,
funny.
you're
Of
a
course,
fucking pod person now.
Will Arnett was funny. The Ted Danson little bit was funny. The only thing I didn't think I was like is too much was Susan Sarandon, and I don't remember who the guy was.
Yeah, he you've seen him in a lot of
I've
things.
seen him in other things, but I don't know.
I know he's in this. And
he was the only one I didn't place. Like I even picked up on.
I don't know his name.
On what's his David Cross. I picked up on David Cross. I picked up on Jason Schwartzman, and they had all the makeup on, but I didn't. He was the only one I couldn't. But
you know who? Like I know
who he is. I've seen him.
His face, right?
Yeah.
But you don't. I don't know his name either. But man, I'll tell you,
Susan Sarandon part was way too long. It
was too long, and it was kind of. It was. I mean, this is why MCA is a great director of music videos, but when you put him in a long form thing like this, there's a lot of downtime. And in that Sarandon part, there's a lot of parts where, like especially like Seth Rogen and Elijah Wood, they're not like Danny McBride's fucking funny. He is so
he's always
funny. He's so witty. He is so quick. Just his facial expressions, the way he will stare at you, everything about him is so funny. But even he couldn't just save the awkward silences, the awkward moments that plagued that little tiny scene there. But the ending part when they're peeing on each other, dude, it went on so long and it got so aggressive. And I think it didn't. It went on just the right amount of time, right? Because it had close up to everybody's face, and it was kind of just 1v1, and then all of a sudden like it's on their face, and then in their mouths, and then everyone's kind of like laughing a little bit. Like it was perfect long form video. Makes noise, fucking dope. I think this record is severely underappreciated because of their discography as a whole. But I think this is I do think this is better than Check Your Yed. I do think this is more important. I think they do a lot of these sounds better than they did in Check Your Yed. The only thing that Check Your Yed has that this doesn't is just better rapping, but you don't like the rapping anyway. So I think this is great. This is a fucking fantastic last output. I'm happy with this, and this is 100% a fucking vinyl worthy purchase. Absolutely.
It's once again, it's still a good record. They have no bad records. They really have no bad records.
This is an easy 2 out of 3. Easy 2 out of 3.
And 3 being a perfect album.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
I don't think they have any.
So, my number 4. Are you good with hot sauce?
Yeah.
Okay. So my number 4 is Aglio e Olio. This is their EP, their hardcore EP they put out in '95. This is done during the Hello Nasty sessions, and it's cool. I like hardcore punk music, and I thought they did it really well on this record or on this EP.
You like generic hardcore music?
Okay, whatever.
Be specific.
I enjoyed this little EP. I would get it on vinyl. I'm not gonna like go seek it out, and I'm not obsessed with it. But yeah, I'd get this on vinyl. And when I said I have everything on vinyl from here on out, I forgot about this one because I don't have this on vinyl. But I would. I forgot. It's not that I lied. I just I forgot that I hadn't talked about this yet. So that's not a lie.
Politician. I don't recall saying that. I don't recall saying that. I forgot.
It's not a lie when I forgot that I haven't said this.
You know, like legally, if you ever get caught in a lie, don't admit to the lie. Just say I don't recall ever saying that.
Well, I'm not lying, so.
Oh, we will know.
Well, yeah. I mean, they would know because I'm not lying. So anyway, yeah, this is just a good hardcore record. You catch a bad one. That's a good song, great song. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. There's not much to say about it. It's super fucking short.
Because it's just fucking kind of generic hardcore. But that's okay.
It's just good hardcore music.
That's fine.
It's good hardcore music. It's fine.
Okay.
So what do you got for number 3?
This one jumped up a lot for me. This one used to be kind of lower, but it jumped up a lot. Ill communication, dude. Ill communication. They're back to their sound. Like, this is it. This is the sound that they wanted, but they're also playing instruments. Check Your Head didn't have the sound that they wanted. It was just kind of them playing their instruments and doing a record and trying to find themselves, right? They're going on this trip through Joshua Tree to find themselves. This is like, they already know what the fuck they want, but they're also playing their instruments. And up until now, like, this is their best rap performance that they've done, for sure. The opener, Sure Shot, dude, it's so fucking fast. It's like they're just weaving in and out of the beat. It's like this organized chaos, and it continues throughout the entire record. This is a landmark record. I've slept on this for a long time just because, like, this wasn't my entry into the Beastie Boys, so it was always like, oh, Sabotage is the best track on this. Like, convince me otherwise. But, like, Root Down, fucking banger. Sabroso, the instrumental track, fucking banger. I know I've talked about earlier how, like, a whole night of shots is bad, but a couple shots throughout the night is good. Again, same with the Beastie Boys. A couple instrumental tracks thrown here and there, fucking good. All instrumental mix up, not very good. But yeah, Sabotage is obviously the banger. It's always the answer is always Sabotage. What is the best song from Ill Communication? The answer is always Sabotage. I don't care. But you do hear the effect that, like, the mid '90s alt scene had on this record. This record's a little bit rougher and grittier overall, a little bit rough around the edges, unlike, you know, everything before this had kind of done. But there's a lot of jazz. There's a lot of jazz, a lot of funk. They're also better at their instruments, even still. Like, the step from Paul's Boutique, from Check Your Head, of how good they are at their instruments is fucking night and day, right? And then from Check Your Head to, like, Ill Communication, it's not night and day, but, like, you can tell that they are better. Whereas, I don't know, on Check Your Head, they're good at it, and they're kind of like us. They can jam along to songs and be really good, but, like, now they're like musicians. They're not just like people playing guitar. Like, they're like musicians now, and they're laying down a lot of kind of nuanced lines, right? Like, MCA is doing a lot of really fucking cool things in the bass, and not just Sabotage, where watching him like have the bass in his hand, and which I never even fucking knew, like, that part was the bass.
I didn't realize that until this week.
Guitar. Yeah, because there's so much distortion on it, and I've always heard the doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, which I knew that was the bass, but like that like that part, I'd never.
The strumming
part. The strumming part, I never realized that was a bass. I was like, God damn, and the fact that he was just riffing on it, and I don't mean to diminish the achievements, but I do think it's worth noting that, like, when someone dies, obviously we should be propping them up to make them bigger than they ever possibly could have been, but the fact that they walked in and saw him doing that is. It's a cool story. I like it. It's a good story. It's a good story. But yeah, they pretty much took everything they've done up until now and just intensified it. This I think this plays out like a greatest hits record, even though these songs aren't all greatest hits, but it plays like one because you can hear everything that they've ever done, like they did in Hot Sauce Committee, but now it's more. It's youthful. It's exciting. It's vibrant. Exuberance.
All right. So my number 3. You ready for this one?
Hella Nasty. Go ahead.
To the Five Boroughs, their 6th record.
So I forgot you even said that shit yet. Oh my God.
So Money Mark did not contribute to this one, just Mixmaster Mike. Now, all of their records, there's a lot going on. There's just so much going on, in many different ways. You know, from License to Ill to Paul's Boutique, there's a lot going on, but in very different ways. To Check Your Head and Ill Communication to Hello Nasty, like, everything has their own stamp on it, but it's all very, very busy. With To the Five Boroughs, I feel like this is a little bit more stripped down of a record, in the sense that there's no musical interludes. It's just straightforward kind of hip hop. They all do really well. They all rap really well on this record. I'm not saying that's, like, significantly better than other records, but they do a really good job on this record. But I do love how just the beats are a little bit more straightforward. They're not big and bombastic. I don't need this big John Bonham, like, kind of sample to the beat. Like, there's some of this on that record, but it doesn't overtake the record. I think there's some really cool, interesting stuff. Like on Shazam, there's some cool fucking weird synthy shit on there that I really, really love. Hey Fuck You is just this bizarre thing that comes out of fucking nowhere. I do love that song too. And the big single, Check It Out. I think that's like one of the best times one of the best back and forths that all three of them have done. And when you watch them do Check It Out live, they're just perfect, just absolutely perfect. And I think Check It Out is one of the most difficult songs for them to go back. I think it's one of the smoothest rapping they've ever done in their whole career is on Check It Out. And again, I like the stripped down. I feel it's stripped down on this record, and I like that because their albums can be too much. There's too much going on that it just becomes this kind of wall of sound, especially with the beats. Not necessarily a bad thing because it's not.
Man, Deftones have like changed your DNA. You like simple, boring shit now.
No, but every once in a while,
crazy,
stripped down and simple. What the fuck? Are you shitting me? Look at fucking
cool.
like we did. I Am the Avalanche a few weeks ago.
That's fine.
What the fuck are you talking about? That's like the most stripped down shit ever. And you love any Caruana, whatever his name is.
That's okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's okay.
Get the fuck out of here. You're not acting like it's okay. But I really do like this record.
It's not okay.
This is. I really do like this record, and yes, I do have it on vinyl. I don't give a fuck. I think it's a killer record. I really, really do. I dig it. And some controversy, which I don't agree with, and I think they're lying about it, or I know they're lying about it. So when this album came out on the CD, if you tried to put the CD in your computer to burn it, there was some sort of like copyright protector on it, but it was true. Because I had two friends who had this CD, and I tried to burn it from both of them, and it would not allow it. And they said, that doesn't happen in the U.S. and the U.K.
No, that wasn't
like
the controversy.
Bullshit.
The controversy was that it downloads something onto your computer.
The spyware, yes.
But
that was part of the controversy, but part of it was the copyright protection as well. And that was another part of the controversy.
I think they admitted that it did have the copyright protection on it.
But the controversy was both of those things. The
controversy was downloading some shit on your computer, not the because every band was
both of those
putting
things.
copyright
It was
protection
both of
on
those
CDs.
things.
I think it was one thing.
No, it was both of the things. It was both of them. But anyway, I really like To the Five Boroughs lyrically, whatever. I don't think there's much to write home about for most of their lyrics. I mean, yeah, there's some like good stuff and there's some shit that should be talked about. But overall, their lyrics, it's like
girls.
Who cares?
To do the laundry in the bathroom.
The anti-misogyny stuff. I think that stuff is important. But, anyway. I could give two shits about most of the lyrics. I think it's just who cares. But I do like To the Five Boroughs. I don't care what people say. Good shit.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Those are things that you said.
So what do you got for number 2? I expected more pushback from you. I don't like that you didn't push back on me on this more because you pushed back more earlier in this episode than you did right now, and that really kind of irritated me.
Because
I was ready for like a knockout.
It's so obviously wrong. You know, like when I said earlier, like I can't even argue with that because it's so obviously wrong. Like no one will agree with you. Anybody that even like
that's fine.
Like it's a shit take. It's a shit take. That's it. That's a shit take. It is absolutely is. It's a fucking shit take. It's not a bad take. It's not a hot take. It's a shit take.
It's a take.
And because you think it's a take is why it's a shit take. And you know what I mean? There's no arguing with that because you're not going to change your mind. It's such a bad opinion.
I would change my mind. I would change.
It's such a bad opinion. And I know opinions are everybody's. That the kids tell me. I can have my opinions and you can have your opinions. And I'm like, no, but your opinion is shit. Just like your opinion right now, Five Boroughs being third best is shit. That's a shit opinion. It's a shit take. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Sorry. I know you don't. I do.
Yeah.
Number 2. My number 2, and honestly, my number 3 could be ill communication could break my number 2, depending, I guess. Ill communication is fucking really, really good. I understand why so many people put ill communication in their top 2. I get it now. I understand it. Number 2 for me this week was Paul's Boutique. I just spent a lot more time with Helen Nasty this week, so that's why that's probably number 1. Although I consistently put that one at number 1. I mean, this is probably their best record objectively. And again, it could be my favorite on any other given day. In an attempt to not get like pigeonholed into one sound, they broke free from Def Jam, broke free from the slavery of Rick Rubin and his horribleness, and they broke free from rap rock. Right, that was like the best decision they ever did was break free from all of that. This record still rocks, but it's hip hop first. It's for the yeds. It's for the hip hop yeds. It's sample heavy. It's very heavy. It's if you don't like samples, if you don't really get into like that pillar of hip hop, then I get it. This is probably not for you. This is dense as fuck. This is as dense as you can possibly get. This
so
is
dense.
this is so dense where you'll get a drum break, and that drum break will turn into another drum break, and then it'll go back to what sounds like that first drum break, but it's actually a third drum break. And so we're talking just like sample on sample and then modulate a sample to get into a different. It's wild how much this is, but it's cool because even by like today's standards, this is still an incredible record. But like you put yourself in like the 80s, right? In like the late 80s of this era, this is bonkers. It's fucking bonkers. They weren't the first to sample, but they rewrote the rules on it entirely. Like there was a book and people were kind of like writing the intro to it and like, okay, here it is, everybody. Here's what you can do. And everybody just thought, holy fucking shit. This is absolutely incredible. And like you said, it flopped. Like it sucked. No one liked it. They were kind of bummed about it. And that's why they kind of like shied away from it a little bit until we get into like really Hello Nasty and they really embraced it again. But my God, it's ambitious. And not just because of like the influence or generational.
It is very
hip-hop,
ambitious.
But like, dude, like just the decision alone to abandon everything that they built on License to Ill and start over, almost completely start over, is
crazy.
It's suicidal, right? It's fucking like it's, I don't know, it's suicidal. And
the story behind Paul's Boutique is one of the most interesting things in music. It really is because they abandoned everything that any band or artist would strive for, and they're like, you know what, we don't care anymore. We didn't like it.
It's the most
We're just going to do the
thing
complete
they've ever
opposite.
done.
Yes, like it's all respect to them for doing something like this because they did make a great record. It's just not one of my favorites, but it's still an incredible record.
And I don't hate you for not liking this record. I do hate you for liking Five Boroughs.
This record. I just said I like this record.
I just said I don't hate you for not liking this record because you put it so low, which obviously you don't. You have the mix on vinyls, but you don't have this on the vinyls. But that's okay. We can keep pretending.
But I gave you my
fantasy
for
land.
that.
But I do hate you for liking Five Boroughs so much because that is just not. Also, I for the life of me this week I could not. Had you asked me how to spell borough, I would have fucking failed that. I did not know.
Isn't it
that.
Bouroughs?
See, I thought it was Bour, like borough.
Oh,
I mean,
which
first
one is it then?
First,
Is
I
it the way I
thought it was Burr because I was thinking like Joe Burrow, like the football player. But then I was like, no, it's probably Bour, like board. Then I was like, no, like boards and cheese or some shit. But it's Bouroughg, Burrow.
Okay.
And then I didn't know what a borough was, and I still didn't look it up either because borough that just sounds dumb. Like fuck off.
Isn't it just mean like an area of an area within an area?
Yeah, the five boroughs in New York City, but like there's more people that live in certain boroughs than like an entire city out here in Arizona. You know what I mean? So like, what difference between a borough and a city? We could have looked this up. I didn't. I don't care enough. I still don't care enough because New York is dumb. But anyway, Paul's Boutique, fucking dope, dude. Eggman, this is my favorite song. Brilliant, just brilliant song. The two separate songs here provide like the drum loop, and there's a third song in the bass loop, and then there's other random samples throughout the song. So you have like three samples that are kind of providing like the backbone of the song. It's just a goat tier here, and eventually, and even like lyrically. It's goofy, lighthearted Beastie Boys, a lot of puns about eggs and just a lot of fun wordplay with it. But then, like you mentioned with the anti-misogyny thing, Mike D calls out racism by saying people go through life with egg on their face. But like he didn't say like racism, or he just says like if you think this and you're going through life with egg on your face. And like I thought it was like just cool wordplay. It was literal and figurative, and then B, we're already going away from girls, Brass Monkey, Party, Brooklyn, and that's cool. Like they literally abandoned everything that they stood for.
Their whole image they just abandoned. But the way they dressed, everything.
But it's weird because they still kind of like kept it, right? Like they abandoned everything, but they kept the best parts. They kept the parts that made them unique, like the goofiness.
Musically, yes, yeah,
right. And they raided the house they were renting. They raided their closet and wore women's clothing all the time because it was fucking funny, even though they weren't supposed to do that. And they did all these things, and like it was just they're having a good time. I did pick a stinker for this one, or a worst song. What Goes Around. This is the one that starts off with the Moby Dick sample, that drum beat. Yeah. I think it's a little bit jarring. I think it's a little bit out of place, much in like the Sonic Reducer sample. I think it's out of place. That's it though.
Okay,
that's it.
So my number 2 is the album of the week, Hello Nasty, their 5th record. So I'm not going to get into this right now because we're going to break this whole record down and we're going to talk about it on the main episode. So I assume your number one is or I know Hello Nasty is your number one. Yeah. So my number one is Check Your Yed. This is the album that really just blew me away from this band. I didn't hear this until we started collecting the vinyl 6 years ago. I never heard this record. And it totally blew me away, and I've loved it ever since. And yes, this is the record where, Paul's Boutique flopped so much, and they ran out of money because of that record. They were broke, but they had enough money to to buy like a fucking suite or like a small warehouse in the Valley here in California, in LA, and they made their own studio. They found Money Mark and a couple other dudes who worked on Paul's Boutique. They brought them into the studio and they just jammed it out. That's really what they did. They kind of learned and not refined, but they got better at their instruments on this one. And really, to me, this is like the beginning of what the Beastie Boys are. Like the best of the Beastie Boys started on Check Your Yed, and I look at this album like a band's first record where they kind of just throw everything at the wall, or just throw everything out there, and they just try everything. And if it doesn't necessarily work, it's okay, but it still just sounds different and unique. It's like a good example is like Thrice, their first record, Identity Crisis. It's not the most polished sounding record, but there's so many different influences, so many different things going on, and that's what gives it its charm. And that's what I love about Check Your Yed. Yes, it's more polished and refined, but this is them just kind of like, we just kind of don't know what we're doing, but it still sounds really cool, and we're just having a fucking blast. And that's what this record is, just having a full on fucking blast with your friends, making music, and it translates to the songs so well. I mean, there's the hip hop, the punk stuff, the dub stuff, the lounge stuff, the exotica lounge stuff. It's all over the place, and it's all sequenced so well. I think this record is just, it's unreal. It's really unreal. And yes, they did all this on Hello Nasty. Like everything that they did on Check Your Yed, they did on Hello Nasty. And that's why I put it as my number 2. But there was something about the craziness of this record and the innocence of this record, and just that you could tell that these guys are amateurs. They don't really know what they're doing, but there's this charm to it that I absolutely love with Check Your Yed.
Well,
I love it.
This is their punk rock record. That's why you like
it. Is their like mentally speaking, yes, this is like their punk rock record. Absolutely. But that's what gives it its charm. I love
good.
it. I absolutely love this record.
It's not their best record, but it is
their best record. That's why I said it's their best record.
Close. You were close by ranking it, but you missed the mark there.
Banger is Finger Looking Good. Love it. Love that shit. So there you go. Check Your Yed is my favorite album of theirs, their best album. And let's get into our top 10 favorite Beastie Boys songs. We'll just run through these real quick. 10-1. What do you got? Go.
10-1. Don't Play No Games. Talked about that from Hot Sauce. That's the one that features Santa Gold. So What You Want from Check Your Yed. Number 9. Rhyming and Stealing from Ill. Hey Ladies from Paul's Boutique.
Hey,
Eggman. It's so hard not to do that. Eggman, Paul's Boutique, Root Down, Ill Communication, Super Disco, Hello Nasty, Sabotage, Body Movin', and my favorite song, my favorite video, Intergalactic. The fact that's not even your fucking 5 is stupid.
How do you know this?
Because I already saw you sent me your top 10.
You know nothings.
That would actually be legit if you changed it, just to send me a fake one.
We've changed our rankings before, but after we send it to each other, it's not unheard of.
I mean, maybe
we've done it.
Yeah, you're right. It's like
we've done
that.
So you don't know, but anyway, my number 10, Eggman from Paul's Boutique. My number 9, Intergalactic from Hello Nasty. My number 8, Make Some Noise from Hot Sauce Committee. Number 7, Shazam from Five Boroughs. Number 6, Sure Shot from Ill Communication. Number 5, So What You Want from Check Your Yed. Number 4, Hey Fuck You from Five Boroughs. Number 3, Sabotage from Ill Communication. Number 2, Finger Looking Good from Check Your Yed. And then my number 1 favorite Beastie Boys song, I Don't Care, Check It Out, to the Five Boroughs.
No songs from the Five Boroughs should be in the top 10. Wrong.
Well, they are. There's 3. There's actually 3.
It's always nice, like when podcasts have like 2 different people on, and then you get like the correct thing and like the thing you shouldn't do, right? Like,
I mean, mine.
Like good idea, bad idea. Remember that show? Remember that thing?
I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about.
Good idea, bad idea.
I don't know what you're talking about. But okay, that's fine. Well, thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, you smash that subscribe button, dude. And that's all we have. Go listen to the main episode. We're gonna get into Hello Nasty, get into how it was made, music, all that good shit. So go check it out. And that's it. That's all.